Okay, hello guys. This is the second lesson on prepositions, and today we're going to be looking at prepositions of place. Okay, so easier prepositions of place. Now, I'm sure again that for most of you this is not going to be anything new. So, in we use for places with a boundary. This boundary can be physical or it can be non-physical as well. On we use for horizontal and vertical surfaces, and at we use for specific places. Oh, my mouse just froze for a second. Okay, so in then. We use this for towns and countries firstly, and this would be an example of a non-physical boundary. Okay, so generally speaking, countries don't have walls built around them. So you can say something like, I live in a town called Worthing in England. We also use in for physical places. So again, this has got a boundary. In this case, there will be a physical boundary. So things like, I'm in the library. Another example with a physical boundary would be containers. So your tea's in the cup, the shoes are in the box. And finally, again, this would be non-physical. We use in for printed things. So then you get examples like, there was an interesting article in the newspaper today. Alright, now let's look at number 2. So on. Horizontal surfaces, so surfaces which go this way, basically. Molly likes sitting on the shelf, and I will show you evidence of this later in the video. And vertical is this way, so you have things like, there are lots of pictures on the wall. Finally, at physical places, so we'll meet at the cinema, and then you can actually be very specific, so things like, I like to sit at the back of the bus. Alright, so let's look a little bit more at some advanced differences between in and at, because this can get quite tricky for people. So we're going to look at the differences between at or at or in, and in the or at the. So let's go one by one. So number 1, she's at school, she's at the school. So these two sentences, they're actually not quite the same. In the first sentence, so she's at school, I imagine a schoolgirl who goes to school every day and her state of existence is being at school. This second sentence here, she's at the school, I imagine something like a mother or some other caregiver who's gone to the school for a specific reason. So this is where she is right now. This is where she is every day. Alright, so number 2, she's at school or she's in school. So this first example here, the red one, is actually British English, whereas the blue sentence is American English. The actual meaning of these two is the same. So both of these are talking about a schoolgirl who goes to school every day. And then this last one here, this first one, she's in the school, she's physically inside the school building. And this second one here, she's at the school, she's maybe inside the building, but she could be on the school grounds, or she might be by the school gate. And this actually can cause trouble for native speakers, because if I want to meet somebody, let's say I want to meet my sister and she says I'm at the school, I know she's kind of somewhere around the school, but I'm not that sure exactly where. This is very, very general. But if she tells me I'm in the school, I know to go inside and meet her there. All right. So the madness of this does continue because we do similar things with other words and phrases too. So this is very similar. This is a difference between British and American English. To be at university versus to be in college in the States. To be at home versus to be in a home. Now, if you're in a home, you're talking about a residential unit for older people. Whoops. To be at work or to be in work. And these two are very different. If you're at work, you are at your workplace. If you're in work, you have a job and you're out and earning money. Okay, so just a little summary for you. In is places with boundaries. On is surfaces. So here's Molly sitting on the shelf. At is specific places. So at the school, at the cinema, at the station. And then that little difference again, in is to be inside a building, but at is to be inside or around a building. So I hope this video has helped a little bit. This is quite a tricky, challenging area, so don't worry if you don't understand everything right now. If you have any questions or anything you'd like to know, feel free to ask me in the Facebook group, and I'll check in with you guys soon.